We've used it in lots of different situations, from establishing cover crops to this conventional type of drilling that we're doing here today in cultivated land, and actually we've also used it well into the autumn as well, and it's really coped well with all the damper conditions on these sort of heavier clay soils. Hi, I'm Kris Grzelak. I'm farm manager here at Plantwell Farms, based here in the heart of Suffolk. We're an arable farm, farming roughly 5,000 acres of combinable crops, parsley and sugar beet. And we invested in this drill last season for multiple of purposes really. When we first approached GRANGE Farm about this machine, they already had a machine in production, or not quite in production, but they'd made a machine in a slightly different format to this. What we were looking for was a machine really that we could use for planting multiple crops, for direct drilling and conventional drilling, but also something that would take us a long way into the autumn when the ground starts to wet up and maybe the Vardostat wouldn't run. So we wanted this sort of mounted tine concept drill, but what we also wanted to make sure that we had enough clearance in the drill as well. So the previous build to this was actually a 3-row setup, and we went to room with the idea that we would quite like a 4-row setup. And we also like the idea of the Borgolt Coulters. So the one we've got here, we've actually got I think it's like a 4-inch spread with another outlet in the middle, so that allows us to plant wheat, and what we're doing now is putting a companion crop of peas in as well. When we initially looked at the drill, we had a double harrow bar on the back, but felt it wasn't quite doing enough, so we sort of rejigged it and put the level board system on, and that's really sort of made the drill now. It gives us a nice level finish, leaves the seedbed nice for the pre-em. One of our initial concerns with the machine was the original concept being a rigid 6-metre concept. We wanted a little bit more contour following with this drill, so what we've got is a centre pivot on either of the 3-metre sections, so that gives us a little bit better contour following with the machine. I felt that was quite important, just to get an even seed depth consistent across the drill. The concept was actually based on the LDL, so it's a really well built headstock, a mainframe on it. It's going to take the biggest of tractors and it's not going to break, and that gives us a really good option of planting it 7 inches deep for beans, or an inch deep for oilseed rape if we want to. But the machine is robust and it will do every type of job. So the depth control is really simple on this machine. So we've got it's obviously running on a 3-point linkage, and we've got pitch adjustment forward to the back of the machine on the top link there, and then depth control is really simple. Just a few depth clips on each of these 4 rams across the machine and these depth wheels, so it makes it a really easy machine to set up. So we opted for the Borgolt seed and fert Coulter. It's the 4-inch wide version, so we've got seed coming out 2 side outlets here, and then we've got a choice of fertiliser out the centre of the Coulter, or actually what we're doing today is putting peas in as a companion crop. And what we'd do for a crop like beans, when we're going to go in a little bit deeper, but out of a single Coulter, we're using the I think it's a 19mm Borgolt Coulter as well, just a single Coulter. So we have the Horsch eradicator tine system on the as an eradicator. It's really a robust system, plenty of depth control on it. The actual whole frame here is I'm told is capable of taking a low disturbance leg on there if we wanted to, but more than copes with what we've got here. And as you can see, we've got it on this 8RX, and it does a absolutely perfect job behind it. So to allow the Borgolt seed and fert Coulters to work, we have the twin mushrooms on the top, which is fed by a Horsch front hopper on this particular machine. Front hopper has a split hopper, so we're actually placing the 2 different, in this case, wheat and peas in a sort of separate line, if you like, so that the products are not actually mixed together. So we can do this by the 2 separate pipes and distribution heads, which are delivering the seed and or peas in this case separately. So we're now a year into a full season into using this machine. We're getting on really well with it. We've used it in lots of different situations, from establishing cover crops to this conventional type of drilling that we're doing here today in cultivated land, and actually we've also used it well into the autumn as well, and it's really coped well with all the damper conditions on these sort of heavier clay soils. So we're really impressed with the job it's doing, and it's sort of going to be part of our machinery setup for many years to come, I believe.